before we start talking about the postseason, we gotta show some love to some of our fallen teams, right? I mean, isn't that everybody cares about the teams that don't make the playoffs more than the teams that do make the playoffs? Let's cut to the chase, man. Let's cut to the chase. See what I did there? See what I did there? But look, what I'll say is this in all seriousness, I've been keeping up with Hard Knocks, right? So it's actually very just funny to watch how confident the Bengals were and that Mahomes and Andy Reid said this ain't happening.
You've been planning this all day?
I've been planning it all week, son.
Y'all not getting to no playoffs. That being said, though, you guys are the resident Joe Burrow lovers. So what do y'all have to say for him? Y'all excited? Are y'all using this moral victory of this end of the season and winning streak that they did? Because Frank, you tried to jump off and now you jump back on. So like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
I mean, Charlie, do you want to start or should I? I don't know how we should play this out.
We all make a bet now and then. You know, we throw a little parlay out there.
Mm-hmm.
How this is when 7 of your 8 legs hit for you to lose that parlay.
It is.
Man, they did everything. They did everything they needed for the last 4 weeks to make the playoff. Every single other thing fell into place. And then they had to pray for Carson Wentz to do anything. What the Chiefs did was suckers. I ain't gonna lie. It was smart, but there was some suckers because they didn't even try. It's not like they only bet bad. They played nobody. They got dogged by the Broncos. What was it? 31. What was the final score?
38-0.
38 to nothing. Yeah. That's kind of wild. I look. I'm not gonna say that they were scared of the Bengals. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying they had no intention of being competitive in that game for some reason.
Well, since you're not gonna say it, I will. They were.
This nigga's scared.
I mean, we can say it. You know what I'm saying? They was definitely scared of the Bengals. I'm not mad at them. You know what I'm saying? Because I like all of the narrative. I like every single one of them. I like the fact that you'd be like, we never know what would have happened if Joe would have made it. You know what I'm saying? So we got that narrative. Then I also like it because I also like Pat's chances with Joe not there too. You know, because Joe, of all these guys, we always talk about it, of all these guys, the only one that's beat him in the playoff game, got into a Super Bowl, is Pat. So one of these other two is going to have to do something this year. So, you know, there's that. It's funny because I remember during the season, as I was watching the Bengals as still a closet Joe Burrow fan, I kept on, like, there were a couple games they were in, and I'm like, you needed to win that game because it's like I had a feeling they would do this dumb thing that they do at the end of the season and go on this little run. But I'm like, you're losing too many. Like one of these games, like the first Baltimore game, they should have won. A couple of those, like the Chargers game, like you gotta win that game. Like you're in such a tight, like you gotta, like you're digging too big of a hole for you to get out of, you know. So and it's like I also like it still because they finished with the winning record. I can still be like, Joe deserves to be MVP, and now he don't got the pressure to really actually do anything, you know, and I could just celebrate him and ride off into the sunset. I don't care what you say, you know, go ahead.
You know, the interesting thing about what you just were talking, like, because, you know, we talk often about football, right? So, like you said, you were noticing a couple of games, because I also was reminding you both all year, like, this is going to happen. They're gonna do that Bengals thing where they're gonna lose all these games and then have this miraculous comeback at the end of the year. So like, let's not act like, you know what I'm saying, this was. Listen, here's the thing, man. I ain't even gonna go down that rabbit hole. I will say, because I'm fair, right? Because I'm fair, and I am looking for the Chiefs to three-peat because I picked it and it is what it is. But that was a little wild. I'm not gonna lie. Like 38-0, it's like because the thing is, like you said, not only did they not play nobody, but it's like to be the best team in the league and go lose 38-0, that's almost like a statement. That's almost like you're telling the Bengals, sorry, you should have won some more games. That's honestly kind of like.
I mean, if you're the Chiefs, do you want the Bengals? Like, are you over here like work? Are you gonna work for the Bengals to make the playoffs? Like,
No
you're the
way.
Chiefs.
No, but it's like
They get a bye week. You don't want to get some good reps before your bye week. You know what I'm saying? Like. That's
they don't.
What I thought.
Not the two-time defending Super Bowl champions. I think they're.
Listen,
okay.
I'm just saying this. Strategically, I understand it, but like competitively, I'm not saying you should have tried to win the game, but like 38-0, it's literally like y'all didn't want to. I didn't watch the game. I ain't even gonna pretend like I watched that game. But it's like
I watched parts of it, and it was like very like, please turn this off because this is not.
They did turn it off. Like
Yeah.
CBS turned it off. They said, "Hey, stop. We're not
They
doing this
turned the
anymore."
TV off, huh? But nah, for real, it's literally like because we know they got like an underlying rivalry, like the Bengals and the Chiefs. It's almost like they was telling them, like, "Hey, nah, not this year.
See,
Sorry,
Nail could never. Nail would have been like, "Hey, what we gotta do to get him
I'm
in
not
here?
gonna lie. Please bring him to the
Yeah,
playoffs.
bring him
Please
in
bring
here."
him. You know what I'm saying? Silly or not, that's how I would have gave it up.
Because
That's
Frank would have
why
done this
you
exact
are one
same
of a
game plan.
kind. Nell is one of a kind because he's the only person that would do that. Everybody else is like, oh yeah, I get to I stiff my rival. Yeah, it's like in a completely meaningless game for us. Oh, okay, cool.